You never sing that! Tiger Cup champions will never sing that! Yeah! Hello, guys. Welcome to our Younglings Therapy Show. Now, it's not a Monday therapy, neither is it a Tuesday therapy, but a Thursday therapy show. So, we won the Tiger Cup. Finally, we won the trophy after 4 years. I think it's been memorable. I'm a Spurs fan, and then looking at my team winning a trophy, preseason trophy I would say is memorable. And I think to me, winning the Tiger Cup is more important than anything Jokes Okay, but welcome to our show. I think today we will have our guest who's a North London rival. He's making a North London buddy. He's a North London buddy, and has been a real solid friend to me also So you're just gonna invite one of my friend. Hello, Christian. Welcome to the
Hey
show.
Noah, glad I'm here. Don't
How are
forget,
you
on top of the Tiger Cup, you also got your Under 20 Academy Premier League trophy as well.
That's
Yep,
why
don't
we
forget to
won
add
the
that to the
trophy,
list.
right? With those trophies this season, it's solid, man.
Yeah, all
I
about the
really
little
love it,
trophies.
man.
Yeah, Emirates
How are
Cup
you?
for us as well.
Yeah, how are you doing? How are you doing
Yeah,
this?
doing good, man. All good as always. Yeah, hope you're doing well too.
Yeah, man. Finally we won a trophy. Obviously, feeling that wow, won a trophy or preseason trophy. I just take it, They just take it,
Yeah, just
We
take
don't win
everyone you
trophies,
get, lah. Yeah,
Like every rival fan, we don't win trophies, what? You know. Then Liverpool also win
yeah,
a trophy, also must celebrate, But no one talks
yeah,
about it because you know Spurs hasn't won a trophy since 2008, So obviously you need to have celebration, You need to have celebration, Yeah,
yeah.
So without further ado, today we gotta talk about a favorite. Today our agenda today, today we're gonna talk about our man Kane, I'm
Yeah,
just gonna talk about Kane Saga, because
yeah. Where do we begin with him, man?
wow, I mean, me and you have talked about it. I think when we went to a gym together. I've been gymming, bros. We have a changed man. I've been going to the gym, looking different. Joking but I haven't looked different But I think looking at this Kane Saga, I think I just want to hear from your view Like, how do you? For me, I think I have. I'm honestly I don't mind him leaving To be frank, but to be Spurs fan are just berating me because Kane is a Spurs man one club man, all these bullshit. Kane is a world class striker. Yes. He will stay, because you need to break the Shearer's record. Yes, I mean, I want to hear from your view. Do you think Kane should actually leave Tottenham to actually win trophies this season? You know?
Hmm. Yeah. I think that's such a great question. I think we're looking at Kane's situation. I mean, looking at his career at this moment, he's like maybe 29 years old, turning 30. So I think looking from Kane's point of view, he's a player that's entering the peak of his powers, right? So
Mm.
I feel that Kane is a striker that will probably be looking to add a lot of trophies to his cabinet, which I'm not too sure my London rival counterpart can offer that.
Mm.
So yeah, I think obviously, I think we've been reading a bit of the news in the past few weeks or so that possibly a potential suitor to Harry Kane in his next destination may probably be Bayern Munich. Yeah,
Mm.
so I think looking at the way that Spurs and Bayern are probably going to handle the situation, I just feel that when it comes to Kane, I feel that his departure from Spurs to Bayern Munich will benefit both parties. Looking at it from an outsider's point of view, and especially as a rival, I still feel that I think if Spurs really want to make a good rebuild, I feel that Kane should be cashed in for. I think considering he's going to turn 30, it's very hard to sell a player like that for about 70 over million with add-ons. I think it's a really, really tough deal. But I think as long as it gets over the line, I think it's a very, very good base for Tottenham to start. And look at Bayern now. They don't even have a target man. They're playing like Matters Tell against Liverpool. And they only have like Leroy Sané, Serge Gnabry, and Mane has already gone to Al Nassr. So
Hmm.
they need a bit of that firepower and that option which they lost in Lewandowski. So I feel
Hmm.
that I think if Bayern get Kane, and I feel that it's gonna work out for them. He's gonna
Hmm.
bring in the 30 plus goals a season. And whereas for
Hmm.
Spurs, they're able to get enough funds to redevelop in the areas that they need help most.
I think yes, I actually agree with you. But like, okay, this is the thing, lah. I think anyone here knows that how Levy is like a very shrewd businessman and
Mm,
how he carries it out. Lah. I mean, he's trying to be an Abramovich of the team, and you know how is he going to do? I mean, the 100 million, I don't know what's he going to do with the 100 million, or I'm going to like keep it for myself, or I think recently, I think many Spurs fans also want Kane to stay because I
mm,
mean they don't want to give Levy the money because they don't want Levy to pocket the 100 million price tag on him because he's gonna eat up the money. What I mean, it's ending
mm,
and Levy. What can they do? They won't invest so much on the team. But then, I think in my opinion, I feel that Kane has to leave lah. I think I'm not this type of Spurs fan. Oh, I mean like yes, you need to break Shearer's record. I understand, but dude,
mm,
honestly, in this age and era, right, trophies are very important. And if you want to put a legend status in a player, you need to win trophies because what's the point if you don't win trophies and then you just break the Shearer's record? I mean, there's no point. What? There's no point
mm,
in being oh, I'm a one club man. Oh, okay, but then do you win any trophy? No, zero. So it just comes to a point of like, I think I mean, I agree with the Spurs fan. I understand their point of view of why
mm,
Spurs fans want to keep Kane because probably he's going to give another 20 goals a season. But I think when I watched this, I think the Leicester City Sailors and the Spurs game, I really am not impressed with him. I'm not impressed. The body language is so telling that I'm not going to play for my club already. That's it. Look, the whole game changed when Richardson came in. And I think I think y'all can laugh about Richarlison or what. Maybe he suits as SPL, but look at how he played. Like our system is a more of a counter, like attacking wise, like pressing. Every player is pressing, but
mm,
Kane press or not? No, he doesn't press. I mean, he gives
mm,
space to attackers. Yes, I will agree lah. But I mean, we have talked about this before, and I think this comes to a point whether Levy is going to whether is he going to leave this season because
mm,
from what I've heard, it's 20 million valuation gap. A 20 million valuation gap on the team. On the amount of money Kane the amount of price tag Kane is at this point. So it's very, very like I don't know. I don't know how you're I mean from your point of view I really don't know lah, but I just want to hear your view about it. Do you think actually
yeah.
Kane will leave?
Yeah, I think that's a really good point you brought up a bit about Daniel Levy and a bit of the Spurs point of view about how they feel about how their club is being run over the past few years. I
Mm,
think I mean, given I think I sense a lot of like frustration in the Spurs fan base about like
mm,
where's that money going to be invested to next, and
mm,
I think when it comes to like a gap in valuation, I think you mentioned about the 20 mil, right? I think
mm.
it just sounds to me like from an Arsenal point of view, it just sounds to me that Levy is getting a little bit greedy.
Yep.
Like I feel that
Getting a bit curious.
that little bit of that 20 million gap, I think is something that really can't be chased. And there's only that much of a valuation that you can hit just because of his age and the number of years he can offer.
Mm,
So yes, the whichever team that's good that possibly could get him next will probably get a very, very prolific goal scorer. Like possibly the kind that can rack up 50 goals a season across all competitions.
mm,
Yeah. But I feel that the moment you're the once that 20 million gap, like you're just chasing that 20 million, it just doesn't feel like it makes that much sense. Yeah.
mm,
So I think I kind of gotta agree with you on that. That I feel that Kane's situation, I think there's really not much can be done to raise his valuation any further. And I feel that I think if they're looking for other options, I think it's either they work with what they have. I think especially in the case of Richarlison, right? I feel that he's a player that's a little bit too overhated, I think, by your own fan base. I feel
Maybe
that
I agree.
I feel like
Bro,
Richarlison is a
I have
player.
Richarlison
Yeah,
in my back, bro.
exactly. Yeah. So
Come on, man.
yeah, yeah. I think Richarlison still has a lot to offer. Clearly, he's worked for many teams, right? He's worked at for the Brazil national team. He's worked at Everton, and he's happened to really cause a lot of chaos in defense lines across Premier League teams. But I think under Conte, he hasn't really hasn't
Kicked off,
materialized his skill sets in across, like, to make sure that his role is really flourishes, you know. But I feel that I think under Postecoglou, he's starting to show a little bit of signs in that. As much as it's Lion City Sailors, I mean, but this guy, I mean, just don't just look at the ball movement. I think also look at his off the ball movement. I think the
Yes,
way
agree.
that he presses and
Agree.
closes down defenders. I think that's something to really look out for this preseason going into next season.
I mean, I agree with you. I watched Richarlison. I mean, he doesn't. I feel like when Conte was there, actually, at one time, I also like felt that, hey, Conte don't really want to play him because he's not really a right wing. Neither is he a left wing. He's a striker. He is a striker. He needs service. He's the type of player that, I need service. I need service from the team. And then nothing. He's not never played as a striker before. I don't think he has played as a striker. Only he scored one goal lah. Let's be real. He scored one goal and 4 offside goals and two goals in the Champions League. That's about it. I remember when Richarlison scored, I was shouting at alcoholics with Joel and even I remember shouting my head off. I was like so happy. I was so happy because I remember I had a bet with a bartender. I was like, hey, why not? Joel helped me bet. Oh, okay. If Spurs come back three goals down, why not? Like she had to treat us 4 shots of tequila rose. At the end, one guy has to ruin that moment of Mr. Lucas Fora, and I just, what the heck? Okay, but main point is, I just feel that I think Richarlison fits this team right now. He does, because look at how he presses the ball. Look at how he approaches the ball. Look off the ball movement. Let's be real. I mean, you agree with me. I really think he is. I mean, he's not world class. No, he's not world class. But this is the type of striker you need to make the defense look so like, I don't know what to do with the ball. Oh, I don't know what to do, And I think, like, I mean, yes, he scored a hat-trick against LCS. Well, I don't give a shit. But let's be real. I cried when Richarlison scored a hat-trick.
Yeah,
it's a dream come true. Let's be real, it's a dream come true.
Yeah.
To see Richarlison scoring. But I think, to me, like, he fits this team. And he really fits this team, because, like, this team needs to press. The pressing is like making the team more lively. You see, when Kane left and Son left, the whole game changed. The whole ball game changed. What was Richarlison doing? He was pressing the whole defense and looked like, and then he scored 3 goals just like that. So I don't know where's the problem. Like, this is the problem. I feel like, Richarlison needs to play as a striker. I feel Kane has to leave because at this moment, I don't think he fits the system. I don't think Kane fits the system. I think, like, yes, any Spurs fan can say, hey, I think I can just put Kane there, because he will definitely score 20 goals. I don't give a shit about scoring 20 goals now, no. I give a shit about whether he fits this system or not. Because if Kane cannot fit this system, my team is going to go down the drain, And yes, he has carried Spurs in many moments of my life, like, really, like, he has all credits to him and all. But at this moment, like, if I am like a football fan, if I am like Kane now, I would have left. I would leave, because to me, Kane is the type of player that needs to win a trophy and at least show that, hey, I left Spurs to win a trophy. I don't give a shit about my glory. No, I give a shit about scoring. I give a shit about winning that trophy and at least showing, hey, I won a trophy. That's the main point. But I think to me, I think Richarlison can lead the line, but I think we need a backup striker. I think we are really trying to get a backup striker in this this Argentinian striker. And I never I just read online, on Fabrizio's Twitter, and then I never seen anything of it lah. So but I just feel that at this point, I just feel Kane has to leave. I think I just want to hear from the comments, like from the audience. I also want to hear whether Kane should leave, because I think it's important lah. And I think there are a few questions also. I think, hello Joel Robert. If Kane leaves Spurs, will his legacy be tarnished in the club? Will he be labelled as a glory hunter if he ended up in Bayern? I think I just give you the floor for you.
Ooh, okay. I think that's a really good question. I think you could definitely see it in terms of like what the outlook of the player's career will look like. But I think also we must also remember like what Kane also has contributed to your club. I feel that I think you know what this reminds me of a little bit. It reminds me a little bit of the Alba situation at Arsenal. It reminds me a bit of that. Like, you know, a bit of like a marquee player, but scoring a lot of goals and like trying to bring Arsenal back to the big time, even though he didn't really have the right environment to suit him. So I feel that there's a little bit of resemblance like between that scenario and then Kane's scenario. I feel that if Kane, I think Kane from a personal standpoint just wants to win trophies. But I mean, I think given what he's contributed in the past couple of seasons, dating all the way back to when Arsenal was still under Arsene Wenger, right? It's been a long, long time. I think Kane's really been like that player for Spurs for the longest time. It's just that the team that has always been around him the past couple of years hasn't really truly been supporting him. So I just feel that it's justified that given his stage in his career at the moment, it just feels that this is the perfect time for him to leave, and that the fee that Spurs are going to get for him will prove to be very useful, especially getting into that main striker target that you mentioned. I think Richarlison is a decent striker, but they could definitely improve in that area and to work with the overall fabric that Spurs are trying to build under Postecoglou.
Okay. I think to me also, I think answering to Joel, I also agree. His legacy will never be tarnished, man. I think mean how he has helped this club. I mean, like what Christian said also, how he has helped this club, I think is very important. I mean, he made us not relegated from last season. He has scored 50% of goals, 56% of goals scored for us to at least, be in the 8th position. I think in our worst season ever, I think it has been, I mean, I have to give credit to him, 30 goals. And then Haaland was the golden goal. I think with Haaland and Kane, they have one of the best strikers, two best strikers in the world right now. And then I think to me, he will never be a glory. I don't blame him for being a glory hunter, because at least he didn't go to Manchester United, bro. I don't want him to go Manchester United. Neither I want him to go to any Premier. Okay, Newcastle. I'll be okay with it, but not Manchester United. I don't want a Bobatov. Neither want a Michael Carrick, or neither do I want a Robin van Persie. Like, I mean, Robin van Persie for your club lah. I don't want this. He looks like the Robin van Persie that's going to change the whole team again. So I mean, they bought Holland. I mean, I don't want to say anything, but because I will say it later how I feel about it, but I just don't think he works out lah. I mean, I think he will work out, but I don't know, man. I have my 50-50s lah. Yeah. I mean, his highlights so I cannot really say much. So I must see him in the real life and then judge him. Yeah, I think losing Kane now will it turn claustrophobic for Ange and Spurs starting the season without their tails, man. I think it will take a while to get used to it. I think now with Richarlison as striker, I think things will start to maybe, there'll be a lot of pressing. There'll be more like score lines like 4-3-3-2, 4-5-4. You expect this style of football. I will expect this style of football because like this is how Ange plays. I think I don't really watch Celtic, but the number of goals considered is quite high, and to be frank, like to me, I think without our tailspin, yes, we will struggle a bit, but I just feel like Kane has to leave because we need money lah. We need money to even like buy new players. But I don't want this Magnificent shit 7 again. When we saw Bale and Magnificent 7 came and I'm pissed. I was dead. Like, how did Paulinho become so floppy? Roberto Soldado is like, what the frick is that going on, bro?
Oh
And
boy.
the only good player was Ericsson. And maybe like, okay, I like Nasser Charlie lah. Let's be right. I always like Nasser Charlie, whatever. Nasser Charlie, Eric Lamela. I mean, he did a shit also with Arsenal. Okay lah, whatever. Like, they can't take it.
I mean, the
Then
guy
I think
needs
to me,
Raponas, man.
yeah, I think to me like, I mean, watching Spurs right now, I think there's a chance like maybe with Charleston, I think maybe you score like maybe 9 to 10 goals, maybe 11 goals. Oh no lah. But I heard that we are after Kane is going. I heard we are going for another player like Brandon Johnson, which I'm hearing recently. Brandon Johnson, likes of Brandon Johnson, the likes of that Argentinian striker. It's just the transfer news is kind of coming more and more. But
Yeah.
I'm just like getting ready lah. I mean, I'm not expecting much from this season also because what can you expect, because this season isn't it's just a rebuild season for me lah. Yeah. Yeah. Can Richarlison lead this Spurs team to winning a trophy? Ha 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 ha! Yes, let's Spurs to win a trophy, bro.
Well, he already won the Tiger Cup, so
what to say?
Richarlison helped to push the Tiger Cup, so I guess that could be the start of something. I mean, you just never know.
Bro, the Tiger Cup champions, bro.
Yeah. Don't mess. Richarlison's first
me,
game. Don't mess.
Why Spurs fans were gloating over it and thinking it's a trophy. I had the group chat looking at it like laughing away because I think it's a joke to me, because what a preseason trophies lah. But okay,
Yeah.
4 years we haven't won a trophy. Okay, like preseason trophy, I'll take it lah. Tiger Cups lah. Okay.
Yeah.
Deadline day sunning. Harry Root came to United. Wow. Ha! Ha ha. Okay, let's go to this topic. Mr. Gerald Robert. You want to I think many United fans already got the Holland lah. Why you want Root Kane for? To what? To maybe feel like, oh shit, I confirm hate on Kane or no lah. But I mean, I don't want Kane. I know Kane will score 30 goals there lah. Let's be real lah. No matter how much I don't really like United nowadays. Let's be real lah. He will definitely win the league. I feel like he's the missing piece. How about you? I don't know. For me, I feel he's the missing piece.
Yeah, I think I think Højlund, he's a very, very interesting player. I feel like he's a player that he has a potential to offer something that United hasn't had in their attack for the past couple of seasons. I mean, United have quality in their team, Rashford being one of them, and at times, not all the time, Sancho. Well, yeah, we'll probably get to him in future shows or maybe later. I don't know, but I think Højlund offers something different. Well, yes, he has pace. He's got a little bit of that physicality also. I think, especially when you see him play in the Danish national team. Though I think whether he's the missing piece for United, I'm not exactly too sure. Because I mean, look at his goal and assist tally at Atlanta, in a team that actually has pretty decent quality around him, but he's not really hitting like the numbers 60-70 million signing would hit. I mean, most of the time we'll be looking maybe at about like 15 goals, but I mean, he's kind of like fallen a little bit short of that. So maybe there's something we don't know as fans. There's something that maybe Ten Hag sees in terms of the way that he can slot in. Maybe he can play across the front three and not just at the striker role. Because maybe I think looking at Ten Hag also, he's a manager that's worked under Guardiola at Bayern, and the way he might approach like signing his players also may not always just be based on positions alone. They may
Mm.
just might be looking for players that can occupy the right spaces.
Agree.
Yeah, I think that's a very, very important distinction to make also. I feel that positions and spaces are two very, very different things. Yeah. So positions, yes, I think you play like FIFA Ultimate Team, you'll know that, okay, this guy's a striker, this guy's right wing, this guy's a left wing. But
Mm.
have we often asked ourselves, what kind of space or which area in the field does this player occupy the most? Does he play in the middle? Does he play in the half space? Does he play along the wing? Does he drift out? Does he allow players to drift towards the center? Like these are things that maybe Ten Hag will want to try and experiment with Hoyland. And
Okay.
for all you know, this guy could possibly surprise us.
Okay lah. I also agree with you because like okay, to me, like I feel Mason, like with Mason Mount and like Onana. I mean, Onana has came to United also. I feel like how he changed the team. I mean, how Ajax actually went to the let's think back to that lah. I mean, Ajax went to the semi-finals with us, and I mean they lost it. But to go into that extent of developing players like De Jong, the league, like a Timber, Timber is really a good player. I mean, you also know.
Yeah, he's top notch, man. He's really been top notch
player. Watch also the likes of with Dolberg, with Neres at the point of time, Mazraoui is it? I don't know lah, but English rabak. But to be, I think he has really made players look good in his system. I mean, I think in the next season I won't be surprised if they are top 4 also. Won't be surprised if they can get top 4. Because this is Erik ten Hag's first season, and I think to me, Erik ten Hag's first season you cannot judge so much of like, oh, he can work wonders with this team, but he always think like that. The first season is something that we shouldn't like limelight a lot. We should just like just like enjoy the ride lah. That's what I feel. So to enjoy the ride, because I mean, I don't watch Spurs a lot. Okay, let's be real. I watch Spurs, but like I also watch other clubs, and I think like I like Erik ten Hag how he plays. Actually, I do like how he plays. I don't like the fans, whatever, but I do like how he plays. I mean, with the constant pressure, attacking. I mean, he has the Pep Guardiola's like. I mean, his style of play is really good lah. I mean, I've watched glimpses of it in last season. I think I also quite enjoy it lah. Like I mean with Ange now, I hope I enjoy it lah, because I miss this type of football also. But I mean, like, I don't know, man. Like, their transfers. I will talk about it later. I mean, I hope things will go well lah. Okay, I want to during now this topic Don't lie, Noah. You cried seeing Richarlison score a proper legitimate goal, and you can't stop broken about a prestigious Tiger Cup. Hey, Mr. Amari Taib. Okay, Christian, did I say that I cried seeing Richarlison score?
I don't recall. But I mean, as a Spurs, you gotta get a warm up for your next trophy lah. You just never know. I mean, Amari may have a point,
And wow, I never gloat so much about the prestigious Tiger Cup lah. You're cocky. I have to try to pose about what.
It's okay. Just a little taste of what a trophy feels like lah.
Yeah lah. Serious question: if Holland's team is not similar to that of Haaland's, would he have caused that much? I will talk about this guy's sports thing lah. Let's back on that. Before this Holland transfer was like, right? I think you also saw the news lah. Holland is confirmed to be a United transfer. I was like, hey, this stat of Haaland and Holland. Wow, just like, oh my days.
The comparison is already beginning, man. Just because once,
Oh
One
my
starts with
days.
both starts with H and ends with D.
Wow, this is joke, man.
Oh
Jokes
gosh,
factory.
just
But
doesn't
like,
end.
but honestly, will it cost that much? Let's be real.
Hmm. Yeah. Oh, I think it's just so timely, right? I think we have Haaland playing City, like just signed from City the season before, and like wow, what an impact he's made, right? Like he's above Harry Kane already in his first season in the Premier League, and I think to me, I think this also, as much as like wow, like a little bit of banter, right? Like oh, you have Haaland, we have Hoyland, right? Like there's a bit of like a little banter thing, right? So I think it's a little bit like a little publicity stunt. I feel it's a little bit of I mean the tagline sounds cool already, right? Hoyland v Haaland, right? It's a pretty cool tagline. I
VTech
think
Haaland.
from a like a media perspective, I think also the kind of like of attraction that will bring to like many fans also. I think maybe some United fans are probably like looking for a little spark in their team again. And maybe that little bit of like that little excitement of like, oh, who's this like Haaland rival? Like who's that gonna come to bring in? I think it's a little bit of a little publicity stunt, I feel, that United are trying to bring in also. Like
Mm.
maybe it's a publicity stunt, maybe not, or maybe it's just a pure coincidence. But I feel that the publicity part of it, I think it's also probably like it's a factor that we can consider. I think now that he's already being brought into the picture, that I think this is something that imagine all those like Manchester derbies that come in, like it's always Holland v Haaland. Like I think it's such a catchy name. I think people obviously will want to like try and like watch the games and stuff. And maybe who knows, maybe like bringing a bit more revenue for United. So who knows lah. I think to player transfers also there are probably like a little bit of like like maybe like PR parts of it also. I mean look at like the Neymar thing. This guy brings in the entertainment, the skills, the 5-star skill moves, the rainbow flicks and stuff. So maybe Hoyland doesn't offer that possibly, but maybe he offers something else that
Definitely,
maybe like yeah. So I think who knows lah. I think this is really like could I mean yeah, I think maybe the reason why it will cost that much, who knows? Then maybe United see something in that.
okay lah. I think from my point of view, I think I had this talk with Anwar. I just say this. You can't judge a player by. I feel like okay in this world, in this era, I think people judge a player by it's like the price tag, and I think
Mm.
sometimes players also like Holland. I'm very scared for that because
Yeah.
there are players who have a hefty price tag, but they cannot live up to expectations. I think there always comes to a bit of price and
Mhm.
I think I remember watching this TikTok and I was like, I showed to Amari. I said, oh no, don't I mean you cannot really I think price tag doesn't really matter. I think it's about how you play the game, how you. I think sometimes it really affects you as a player, and then when you play like shit, oh, the first minute is the price tag, and it just like some players see it and it just the mentality just drops, and I think that has been a very big problem. I think cost that much, I wouldn't want to say it because price tag really like to me, I really don't give a shit really because this is the modern era. I think now price tags the amount they are offering can be crazy, like 200
Mm.
million. And Mbappe, I mean with Mbappe and all, the price tag is so heavy. But
Yeah.
to me, to me, football is you gotta see how they play as a team. How to play as a team. I mean, as a player, yes, it can affect you a lot. And I think
Mm.
to me, I think football to me like I think Holland and Haaland. I mean, they are football players, and I think really cannot judge a player by his price tag. I really cannot. I really wouldn't want to because somehow if a player it's just like the pressure there's the pressure among
Mm.
like players, it's quite heavy lah. I mean, and yes, this one. I mean, do you watch this one? This Onana little incident with Maguire.
Oh
I
yeah.
did watch.
What a little tussle we had there.
Wow.
Yeah.
Are we looking at a potential divisive character in the United dressing room? I think I just want to give you the floor for it.
Wow. Looking at United, we see Maguire also like potentially just like may not be even be fitting in the team. Remember, I think looking at Maguire's career also, the way he started out, he actually wasn't too bad, right? He was a player that was pretty composed on the ball, knew how to pick out a long pass, get the ball moving into attacking zones. But I think as time went by, also I think Maguire was someone that lost his confidence. I feel
Agree.
that I think Maguire is that player that he needs something like a motivation for him to start working, which
Mm.
currently at this point in time at United, I'm not too sure whether he may be able to offer the skill sets that he was bought for. So I think now looking at a bit like the preseason incident with Onana and Maguire, it seems Onana I think is just demanding more from his players. He's just demanding that they maintain like a high press or and I think that Onana is just trying to keep the defense in check. I think that's also part of a goalkeeper's role. It's
Yep.
also to command like the defensive line, when to shift, when to move back, when to like drop back, bring in numbers back when the counter attack begins. So I feel that Onana probably isn't the divisive character, but I think in terms of Maguire, I think he's probably someone that's also trying to maybe adopt to like the style of very intensive style of play that Ten Hag's trying to adopt to this team. So some players take well to it. Some players who are like very hungry for chances, or they really want to like from the get go they want to make a difference. But I don't know whether Maguire is that kind of like mental profile that can fit with Ten Hag's system. So
Mm.
whether, but I mean then again whether he's a divisive character in the dressing room, I'm not too sure myself. But all I can see is that Maguire might be that player that might be the might be the little hole that players that other teams in the Premier League might exploit coming into next season, provided Maguire actually still sticks at United.
Mm. Yeah, I feel that Maguire was being like, okay, let's be real lah. You see the memes of Maguire and all. I would. I think as a player, I would have felt, what the shit, man. I would have lost it, man. My mentality is that bad, you know. My mental health isn't. My mental health would have dropped, man. Like, what kind
Yeah.
of memes am I watching, you know? Um, I mean, this Onana little incident with Maguire. I think this incident is more of yo, I want you to back up. I want you to back up. Can you please defend properly? Can you please
Hmm.
wake up? Because this is how you know he Onana demands a lot. And I think you see
Yeah.
Inter
He's
Milan. I
asking
watch
for
Inter Milan
a
games.
raise in standards. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. And to me it is like Onana needs with Harry Maguire, his confidence, to be honest, in the last like 3 seasons, it hasn't been up to expectations because maybe it's the captain armband. I'll be honest, the captain armband in Manchester United is very heavy. And
Yeah.
to be and honestly, if you wear the armband, you gotta be in the limelight, man, for it gotta be a few years, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, his first season was really not bad. Second season also okay, not bad. But I think after the Euros, I think he started to drop. He started to drop
Mm.
very badly, maybe because he was so fatigued, tired. And then I was saying that I remember saying this, you know, I think Maguire will come back for the next season, but he didn't. You see, it
Mm.
happened same thing all over again. And in the end, he wasn't been playing. And I think yes, like he has been training with Ricardo Carvalho, right? I remember that this
Mm.
in the past 3 weeks
Yeah.
or 3 months, 3 weeks, I think 3 weeks of training, really training up, and to now have this little incident with Maguire with him, I think it can affect a player like him also. It can affect it.
Mm.
But I mean, I feel from Onana's point of view, it's like, hey, can you please wake up? Please wake up. The defense,
Mm.
we are conceding so many goals already, you know. And then I think
Mm.
looking at the potential device, I don't think this. I think maybe I feel that Maguire is going to leave. Just feel he's going to leave one day.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I think,
Yeah.
yeah, then this is. will Maguire be able to perform better at other clubs, perhaps West Ham? I think I think to me, he is linked to Spurs. Let's be real, he was linked to Spurs and he was linked to West Ham now. I think he'll be. I mean, the pressure won't be there. You see, there won't be any pressure because I still think that he's a solid defender. I think he's a good defender, not like the best. Neither is like that shit. I think he's okay, but I just feel that he's like he needs to go to mid-table clubs. He doesn't fit that he cannot feel the pressure lah. I don't think he lives up to the pressure lah. It's too hard for him to be a United captain in as a centre back, and then you're playing like that. So it doesn't really help lah. So I think you'll be able to perform better. I think for you also, I think you agree also, right?
Yeah, I think it's some interesting points you brought up there. I think especially the part where you raised a little bit about how Maguire was trying to train with Ricardo Carvalho, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think it's really quite a lot to look at Maguire's situation. I think also, I think I agree with you also that Maguire may probably suit a mid-table club. I think if confidence is like his main issue, and that's actually limiting his ability to perform the things that he does. So I can kind of understand why like West Ham would be a club that would be linked to him. Which I think it's kind of good also from a United standpoint. I think given like the kind of like trauma and calamity that I think you have experienced with Maguire in your first 11, I think from a United standpoint, it just looks to be like damage control. I think at this point when you're trying to get rid of a player, right, who causes like so much defensive lapses, I think now we've seen that in preseason. I think it's just United's way also of like trying to get rid of like their so-called players that cannot really truly be rejuvenated. Yeah. So I'm not too sure how to like see Maguire's situation also, but I think it's also a lot at play here also. I think getting Maguire to like train and a little bit more, I think maybe may kind of like be a selling point maybe for other clubs, that maybe Maguire is still dedicated to his craft, and that maybe a club like maybe West Ham or maybe like a Brentford. Yeah, so I think like West Ham or Brentford, I think will be probably teams that might suit his style of play a little bit more, and he can play with a little bit more confidence.
Okay. I mean, yes, that's why I also feel it fits a club that doesn't have that that high expectation.
Yeah.
I mean the memes, man. I think with Phil Jones is one, and now it's Harry Maguire. I think it's quite shock. I mean,
you look at
only shock.
The Ghana Parliament, man.
It's just bad, man.
The list goes on.
Yeah. I feel that United is doing whatever it takes to break Maguire, so that he himself asked to transfer out of the club. Short-term signing of Johnny Evans after releasing Phil just feels like a very sneaky move there. What's your take on this, man?
Wow, I think there's a certain element of truth, I think, to what Haizam's saying, but that United is doing whatever it takes to break Maguire. I mean, they've been probably doing that for the past couple of years, putting him with like players that could potentially play a lot better than he does. I mean, now we've already seen Lisandro Martinez, Rafael Varane, two top quality ballers in the defense when they're ready starting 11 players.
Yeah,
so
okay.
Maguire already kind of like feels out of place. But I think from the other part that I'm not too sure about, I think I may not fully agree, is how the question will then be, how will you then remove Maguire from your club when he's already of a very low selling point? Like, how can United really get the most out of him cash-wise if they're going to break Maguire? Then what will that do to his market value as well? I think that's also something that we may need to consider also. I think United is also trying to like have a fine line between breaking the player or making sure that the player doesn't really want to stay at the club anymore, but at the same time also trying to preserve that player's value and try to get back as much cash from the 80 million that they signed him for. Yeah. So I feel, yeah, I think Maguire's situation is a little bit more complicated than it looks. But let's see how United try to handle this and maybe like with a bit of PR stunts also, who knows, maybe that can also boost Maguire's value.
Okay, I mean, to me, I think Maguire and this Maguire situation is kind of, I don't know, man. Like this sounds. I mean, what Azami said, I will agree also because I think to sign Johnny Evans again, I was like, well, this is like, suddenly got one like 68% sale of my protein out of nowhere, like, I mean, this is kind of like quite shocking to me because I didn't really expect Johnny Evans to come back. I thought you like maybe stay at Leicester, maybe to help the team go up to the league again. I mean, but I think to sign Johnny Evans and then like forcing Maguire out, I mean, maybe it's probably the truth. Maybe it is because
maybe.
Really, I just feel Maguire's really like, I think he hasn't really been playing for. I mean, he played for preseason lah. He has been playing and all, but I don't know which club wants him at this point. I mean, yes, Spurs wants him, West Ham wants him, but wow. I mean, after that game, I really don't know, man.
How do you make Maguire a selling point, right?
Yeah, is it to actually? I mean, yes, the 80 million. I mean, they bought for 80 million, and now it look like he's going to be only sold for 30 million, 35 million max. But let's see how it goes. I think this is. I mean, let's see how the transfer market goes in the next. I think 1 month. 1st September, I think it ends. Yeah, so
lots of things can happen.
Yeah, man. And going to it, I mean, man, like, let's talk about this, like this one. Not this one. Oh, not this one. Maguire and Wright and LCS will stop first. Agree. I will agree lah.
Come on, anyone would have stopped LCS, man.
Yeah, anyone could have stopped Spurs lah. Anyone could have stopped Spurs.
Come on.
Man, the first half, man, I watched the first half. I was just dying, man. I was drinking, bro. I was drinking like maybe 4 pints or 5. 4 pints of
boy.
That was like, ayo, crazy, man. It's quite crazy, man.
Oh boy, absolute calamity at the back.
Yeah, I mean. Anyways, now I think we can talk about like I think we're talking about let's talk about your Arsenal. I mean, with Tinder, I think I will hide this first. I think just want to hear from your point of view. I think with the signings of Arsenal, I think Declan Rice, Timber, we have likes of, I think a new David Raya also coming to Arsenal. I was damn tilted. Let's be real, I was freaking tilted because I want David Raya, not bloody Vicario. No, why?
Yeah,
Vicario?
I have no idea why Tottenham did that.
But okay, whatever. But Spurs fans say that Vicario is like one of the best keepers. I don't know what world are they living in. I don't watch highlights of CVA and until like, what, Vicario is the best goalkeeper in CVA? Huh? What? Like, that means what? Mike Magnan is not even a best goalkeeper. Huh? He plays golf. I mean,
yeah, exactly.
I mean, like, I don't really read Vicario. When I watched his game, I was like, what the frick am I watching? I just like cannot, like, I don't know, man. It's just like a normal goalkeeper, like,
right. Yeah.
I wanted David Raya because he brings out the ball. I mean, Premier League proven. Who wouldn't want, you see? But
exactly.
Just want to ask from your, like, I think with Arsenal signings this season, I think with Declan Rice, Julian Timber, Kai Havertz, who else? You had
Havertz, Timber,
David Raya. Now with the coming of David Raya, how do you feel about like the season going forward? Also, like how do you feel about? I mean, I watched your Arsenal games, so I just want to hear your thoughts on the preseason also.
Yeah. I think looking at it from an Arsenal fan, I can definitely see Arsenal's trying to go through a bit of a revolution in terms of like the tactics that they're trying to play. I think throughout preseason also we saw Arteta making a lot of like tactical adjustments to his line. I think we used to see a lot of like our Zinchenko's like inverting as a left back, and then you got Xhaka moving up as the number 8, and they're creating that overload in like the opponent's third, right? Like the going and entering into the final third. But I think we're also looking at a tactical evolution in terms of the midfield also. I mean now we're looking at Declan Rice, we're looking at Havertz. I think to me was probably one of the more interesting ones that I think at the beginning of the window we didn't really expect that Havertz would be a player that would have signed for us. Yeah. I guess now looking back also, it kind of makes sense why Arteta would want to like pick him out also. I think he's Havertz is like a very unique profile. He's I mean, yes, people can criticize and say like, oh, he sucks at striker, he sucks at left wing, right wing, at cam. So what position does he play? Yeah. So, but I feel that
We talked about this
Yeah.
before.
yeah, exactly. So he's just like, huh? He's jack of all trades, master of none. So most of like my friends who are like rival fans will also joke with me about it, like, he can't score volleys. Like, look at his preseason volley masterclass. And then I mean, we'll look at Havertz and we'll probably look at those things. But I mean, but I think he still has a lot to offer. I think there's definitely a lot of qualities that resemble like some of the world class players that we have known in the past. I think Thomas Muller and Mesut Ozil being those two. I think he's a little bit of a hybrid of the two. He's more of like a space occupier, more so than like an out and out goal scorer, scores headers, whips in crosses. Yeah, I mean, if you just look at highlight reels, yes, you may only see those things, but I think in the matches also you also see the way that he runs also. He doesn't always just fill one space, he fills all the spaces. Yeah, so I think that's something that we can be, as an Arsenal fan, I can truly be excited about. Though on the other hand, also, I think looking at the way that Arsenal have responded to like various teams, I mean, looking at the game against United, looking at the game against Barcelona even, I felt that I think there's still a lot of defensive lapses in the Arsenal team, and I still feel, well, maybe not on the same level as Spurs. We too are also going through a little bit of an adjustment season. I think there's still a lot of groundwork that needs to be laid in terms of like the overall chemistry and the fluidity of the way that we play. So I see there's still a lot of experimentation going on. I see Havertz occupying the number 8 that Xhaka used to hold. Then now in some games also, I'm not too sure. I think it was the Emirates Cup or the Barcelona game. Oh wait, no, not the Barcelona game, the Emirates Cup. Yeah, I think Rice was occupying a little bit of like a number 6 role. So it's like he's playing 8 and a 6. So they're trying to like rotate different midfield players around him as well. So we can clearly see also the Havertz, Odegaard on the left and right, and Rice at the 6 didn't really work out. We saw that against United. We were often exploited. I mean, like that Menu kid when I just exploited our whole midfield, and then we were literally trying to like be on the break and trying to respond to the break from United, right? And it just was an absolute disaster. So I feel that.
Okay, I'm going to cut you there. So what happened after that United Arsenal game? What happened? After that United game, what happened?
Oh boy, I think we just
remember the conference, the press conference. I'm going to put out every receipt. We don't play friendly games, okay? Listen carefully, Like Eric Ten Hag, we don't play friendly games, bro. It has to be serious, bro. So after serious, right? What happened? Please tell the crowd.
Oh boy, how do I even begin with this, man? After no friend, looks like every game after that became a friendly. I mean, come on, man. I think that one seriously backfired. I mean, Onana and Maguire happened, and the rest was history. I mean, United also have their problems of their own. Well, I mean, that's the unpredictability of the Premier League also. So I guess even though Arsenal have their midfield problems, but hey, look, United also are having an absolute calamity at the back. And the front line also hasn't truly been sorted out yet. And Højlund also needs to adjust. So many things can happen. So yeah, I mean, that's the thing. But I mean, also, I mean, yeah, I mean, going back to Arsenal, um, if you were to ask me like what kind of position these guys will get in the Premier League, I I can obviously say they're not going to win the Premier League title at this point. I'm just going to be brutally honest and say that no, I'm not going to be at AFTV. I'm going to say like, oh, we're going to win the league. We got the 105 million signing. We got a guy that yell timber, right? Like, hey, like, yo, this just ain't working, man. Yeah, but yeah, I think I see Arsenal still getting Champions League, but I do not know if first winning the Premier League is a realistic target. Oh, right, yeah, Sancho, yeah. Oh my.
3 games, 3 defeats. Which are the 3 defeats? Let's talk about it. The first defeat
uh,
is Wrexham. I don't play friendly games, yes, to be serious. 3-1.
no, guys,
And they played
Division
Youngster.
4, man. Division 4.
How?
How? Exactly.
I mean,
How?
how? You tell me you all played serious games. Okay. I give you that 3-1. Okay. I mean, you all play Youngsters. Okay. Then you all lost to Dortmund. And then you all lost to, I don't know, who I think they lost to? I forgot already.
Real Madrid and
Yeah, Real Madrid. So tell me, are you all playing serious? I really don't know. I really don't understand. What is Eric
exactly.
Ten Hag telling me? Oh, you all play eras come to an end with Klopp and Kloppo and Mr. Pep Guardiola's eras coming to an end. Then I hope I just pray to God. I have been praying to God that Eric Ten Hag's era is going to come to an end. Because I really cannot take it. I really cannot take it because this is, I mean,
Graham
whatever,
Potter
man.
in.
Yeah, man. That's why Man United don't play friendlies. They do WWE style promos. Yes. And I will remember this statement. We are not ready. They are not ready. We are not ready for them, bro. After the Arsenal game, we are not ready, bro. We are not ready.
Yeah.
I
The
am
Premier League is
a
not
Spurs
ready.
fan. And I can banter about Arsenal a lot. Let's be real. But United fans are another level off. What are you doing? They are new players. I mean, yes, they played their full squad. No, I understand. No, but let's be real. You say your manager comes out to say that, and then obviously he's gonna come out to better you, bro. It's gonna bite your ass, bro. So too bad, man. Too bad, man. I wonder whether Dr. ITK actually is, bro. I don't know where Dr. ITK is, bro. Can you please say the name, bro? I just need the name because I know he's watching the show. I want to know. He's watching the show now. Right now, he's watching. Or maybe he's sleeping, maybe crying because the Qataris I mean the Qataris, what happened, bro? You want to talk about it, Mr. Christian? Because Qatar is supposed to take over the United I feel very sad
What happened with that, man?
I really don't know, bro. Every time it's here we go, or this Dr. ITK SG got the Qataris embassy on the call I know he got Qataris contacts
Yo.
He said, by the end of July or end of June, I remember something of end of June. Oh, you confirm get the Qatar embassy 2 months later. Where's the Qatar Where? Where Qatar
Where?
Where, bro? I'm not trying shit or anyone or what, bro. But where Qatar, bro? I've been waiting for the past 2 months, bro. Waiting, bro. And I really and let's be real, I'm like, what is going on? Sad sia, kena blocked by his Twitter is so baffling. Bro, obviously, bro. Want to tell the crowd what does Jesus say about wisdom, bro?
You can say it, man. You can say it.
I forget already, but I need you to say it, bro.
I forgot which is the one.
You remember that? I know there's this Bible verse.
I am horrible at this. I am horrible at this.
Yes, Qatar story is as long as the longest super opera I think of, like never ending. Obviously, bro.
Yo, the Qatari thing is really like some Tinder story. Like you go and meet up with your girl. You meet up with your girl, and then the girl say you want to meet up, and then you immediately reply sure, and she just leaves you on red. Like, what's happening, man?
I don't talk about Qatari story because
Ayo,
I don't know lah. To be frank, this Qatari story is getting me again a
Qataris.
bit like, wow, story time, bro. I'm like
Yeah,
watching,
I
like
kind of feel
reading a
sorry for
Bible
you
lah.
guys, you United fans. I feel so sorry for you all.
I think reading a Bible is more fun than watching the Qatari story lah. It's getting a bit funnier lah, to be frank.
Yeah,
Because
the way it
I
is.
cannot take it anymore lah. I read his Twitter last time wow, it's all about Qatar embassy lah. Oh, like retweeting, like a retweet for Sheikh Jassim, and then like for what's that, like for who like for Sir Jim Ratcliffe. Hey, fella just retweet and like lah. Until this extent lah, bro. Where is this going to? Apa lah? Where is this
It
going
just
to
keeps
lah?
getting better, man. The whole saga just keeps getting better.
That's why, bro. Like,
Oh
joke
my.
lah. This really joking lah, man. Okay lah. That's okay. Okay, now we are going to talk about Villa. I think
Oh,
Aston Villa lah,
Villa.
because
Yes,
Mr.
Villa.
Tiba Ramani is a Villa fan lah. And to be frank,
Mm,
he's a world class Villa fan lah. Let's be real lah.
solid,
Not
solid. I
not to
respect that.
I'm not going to say anything much because he has stayed through relegation times lah. He's one of the world class fans that I've seen. One of the world class Villa fans that I've seen lah. So
Salute, man.
basically, I have this friend. Is Villa a stable club lah? I'll tell you no lah. At this moment, no. Because I mean, yes, I always better to them lah. I mean, we have our own group chat. Always better like, wow, y'all link to Messi, what link to Vlahovic, oh, link to Fati, all this bullshit. Okay, but then Unai Emery lah. Let's be real. I think he has changed his team. I mean, from bottom of the league with Stevie G, the sleepy G, to I think to mid table to now to the Europa Conference League places. I think it's quite crazy. To be frank, it's just damn crazy.
Yeah.
Because
Spot on.
who expected that, man? I didn't expect that. I expected.
None of us did. None of us did.
I honestly think he deserved the manager of the season. Let's be real. Manager of the season for him. Not without a doubt. Without a doubt, he's the manager of the season. But I think to me, Villa is not a mid-table club. They are actually quite good. I won't be surprised if they are Europa League next season. I'm not surprised. They will win something next season. I would not surprise.
Facts.
Because
take something from Sevilla for once.
West Ham have won the Europa Conference League, bro.
Yeah, there's some serious competition, man.
And then to look at West Ham winning the Conference League, I was just damn. I don't know what to feel. I really didn't know what to feel because I mean Rice.
Yeah. Oh boy.
Yeah, it's just quite crazy to be frank. And then got one more question for you What do you think of Villa and Unai Emery? They call it Une.
Oh, Une. Yeah. Oh, Unai Emery. I think he's that one manager that I felt that he should have been just given a little bit more time. I think given like the current Arsenal ownership that we had, I mean the ownership we had at Arsenal at the time, we were under like a lot of like different directors, right? We had like our Ivan Gazidis at CEO, and we had like Rahul Sanlehi also in charge of like a little bit of the transfers. Yeah, Sven Mislintat as the recruitment. So there was a lot of like these like key, I mean all these like guys that used to be in charge of like the transfers, and I always thought that Unai Emery never really got the backing that he did. I mean, look at the windows that he went, especially the first window that Unai Emery had as a manager. Our transfer budget was 50 million. In this day and age, what can you really get with 50 million for a top 6 team? You are looking at free agents. You're looking at maybe like one young left back. In that case, at that time was Kieran Tierney. But considering the kind of players that Unai Emery signed with that 50 million, you gotta give this guy absolute credit. To sign Leno on a cheap fee, Leno was entering his prime. We had Kieran Tierney, who's an important left back for us, especially when Zinchenko may not be an option.
Yeah.
This guy also brought in Martinelli the very year he got sacked. He got players that were going to flourish. He slowly brought in a lot of the youngsters, like your Smith Rowe. He brought in Saka. So I think there's a lot of things that Emery is very underappreciated for. That I still don't think he had the full appreciation and the credit that he got at Arsenal. And I felt kind of a little bit disappointed about that. I think he got a lot of unnecessary flack. I think especially when we lost 4-1 to Chelsea in the Europa League final. I think that was the very moment I think a lot of fans lost it. But I think also we also need to look at the overall situation and say that, hey, Emery only had this much. Like if we had just given a little bit more to Emery, imagine what he could have achieved. Actually, when we first started with Emery at Arsenal, especially the first half of the 18-19, I felt that Emery played a very, very exciting time of football. Look at the goals that Alba scored, or the kind of assists that like Ozil also used to make at the very start. Way Bellerin also used to play. Like
Be the Leicester game.
like he actually brought out the best in the players.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean Arsenal Leicester was one example.
Yeah, exactly. So that was like absolute thriller.
Agree, man. I mean,
Yeah.
I think what they want to ask is,
Hmm.
do you feel that Unai was unfairly judged when he was at Arsenal? He did like quite well in Villarreal, and now to pull off that move last season at Villa, is that the case
Hmm.
of too early, too soon?
Yeah, I think I think Haizam's spot on with that. I think yeah, it was way too early, I feel. I think Arsenal, I think especially in the late Wenger days, they were really entering crisis. Like we were just not getting enough backing. And I think at that point in time, we were also under like a very different composition of our ownership also. The Cronkies actually weren't fully in charge. I think that's also something to consider. I think he had a very, very different vision and culture at the club at that time. And I felt that I think Unai had a list of goals and probably had a list of targets as well. But I just felt that because of the kind of resources that he had at his disposal, I just felt that um he was the club put too much expectation on him, especially the kind of level that Wenger was reaching. A kind of manager that had a legendary status, had an invincible title, and stayed at the club for like close to like 20 years. So of course the kind of expectation was a little bit of a mismatch. I felt that when you bring in someone who has had experience at Sevilla, at PSG, then you bring in that player, I mean that kind of manager like so like too soon. I feel that there's like a bit of a cultural mismatch also, which I think also kind of led to a little like divisiveness also like amongst the players as well. So I think yes, I think he was I would say in summary, he was basically the right manager at the wrong time.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think going to it, I think Unai was also. I mean, I don't know whether Unai was being like heavily backed at the point of time. Maybe I watched Unai's gameplay. I mean, he was sacked. I think mid-season. Am I remember? Is it mid-season? Was he sacked? Then Arteta come in and then won the FA Cup and the what's that? Community Shield.
Mm,
I think to me, like um Unai was. I mean, it was a wrong. I feel like it wasn't backed properly, but I don't think he just
yeah.
fits the rebuild of Arsenal. I think it was too big for him. I think maybe like
Yeah.
it was like Villa, maybe then you come up. I mean, PSG, he also got sacked. What? At the point that he also
Mm,
got sacked. It didn't really work out.
yeah.
Arsenal also was kind of quite hard for him. And then in Villarreal,
Mm,
they won the Europa League, and it really like showed that you know, I've done my part, man. You know, us like really like they won like Villarreal hasn't won a European trophy for I don't know how many years or maybe hasn't won. So maybe now with Villa is top tier, man, top tier.
mm,
Yeah,
yeah.
because I think they will win something in the
Yeah.
next 2 seasons if they don't sack him. I just
Exactly.
hope so because I don't see Steven so sad every time lah. Steven will be like, I don't believe Villa won't win the trophy here, but I think with Una, I really believe they will win. I think this season or what, I think they will win the Conference League. Actually, I feel this is gonna happen because Juventus is out the Conference League. Honestly, who else can beat
exactly.
Villa? What? I will take a Villa lah. You know. Hey. What is this?
Oi. What club?
Not Frog Club.
Don't play.
It's okay, man. It's not a Frog Club, man. I really still believe in Villa, bro. I'm a Villa till I die, bro.
Yeah. People have faith in your club. You guys have picked up quite a lot of interesting signings.
Yeah, man. Don't fall for the false narrative of Thibaut Conda. He's using reverse psychology. He's always using reverse psychology too lah. I understand that lah. I want to ask about Villa signings lah. Going to it lah because I mean they bought Paul Torres. I mean I can show you lah. I think with the Villa transfers,
yeah, really some of them were really surprising.
Diaby, Paul Torres, and Telemans.
Yeah, I think that was great business.
To me, like, I'll be honest lah. This Telemans transfer, I was like, Jesus, man, I would have wanted him, man, in my life, and I would have wanted him in my team because maybe Højbjerg is going to leave, lah. And I was like, yo, Højbjerg is going to leave, right? Why not, man? You know, because to be real, like I like Telemans as a player. I think it fits Villa also, lah. Villa's style of midfield also. But and I just want to hear from your point of view. How do you feel about the three chances? I think with Diaby, Paul Torres, and Paul Torres from Villarreal with Unai Emery, and then now, you know, what do you feel?
Wow, I think Villa, have really are probably the club that has one of the most underrated transfer windows in the Premier League so far. I mean, look at the kind of quality that they're trying to bring into the squad. They're making use of like the market opportunities out there, getting one of Leicester's best players in Tielemans. I remember the days like before we were entering the 22-23 season. There was a point in time where we were like linked with Tielemans. Arsenal were linked with Tielemans for the longest time. Like this guy had agreed personal terms with Arsenal and all that whole saga. And now that I see him joining Villa, and I think he's also like kind of like a really good fit. Yeah, I think he's also got building quality around there. I mean, you see players like Boubacar Kamara, Jacob Ramsey, all these like really like players with super, super high ceilings. And now you have an experienced player in Tielemans who's played on a national level, who can also inject that little bit of like that quality and also provide depth and being a level raiser. And I think now you look at especially I think even Diaby. I think Diaby is a transfer you shouldn't overlook as well. I think when we see like the kind of like wings that Villa had, I think when they were trying to like replace like Jack Grealish when he went to City, and I think Villa have been really clever in trying to identify that particular area as an area that would need further development, and it's pretty good as well. I think Leon Bailey was a former Bayer Leverkusen player also, so I think the Diaby fit also kind of makes sense. There's a little bit of that chemistry between him and Leon Bailey, and you can see how Diaby can also rotate across left, right wing, and even maybe playing a false nine role. May not always be like say like previously I think it was like Danny Ings. I'm not too sure if he's still at the club, but I think like Villa won't be as predictable. I mean, now you have Ollie Watkins, and now you're gonna have like now you have like a Diaby player who's like gonna change the way that Villa could possibly play up front, which also makes them also a lot more unpredictable. So I wouldn't be surprised that say Villa will actually put up quite amazing performances against the top six, especially when they play at home.
Okay. I think with Tielemans and Diaby, I think sometimes I was quite surprised with that chance. I mean, with Diaby also, I was thinking, oh, maybe they get Kaisei and all. I mean, they are really linked with Kaisei and all.
Yeah.
Villa, every time, after this, people will say, yeah, linked FC or this, but then it happens. Just, you know. But I think to me, I think this transfer, I think Villa, I think I watched the Villa game, the previous PL Summer Cup. He scored 2 goals, I think. He scored 2 goals this season. I think he scored 2 goals. Not bad. I mean, he looks good, but I don't know how he will turn out in the Premier League season. I think it's quite different because PL Summer Cup is like a pre-season game, so you cannot expect anything much out of him. You have to just wait till maybe the Premier League season, and then that's where the real game comes. You can judge him from there. So I think Tielemans is also. I mean, from how Tielemans has been playing, it's been good. And I think with Diaby, I don't know, man. Remember with Leon Bailey, and everyone was hyping him up.
Yeah.
He just lost it. So I hope that I just pray. I just stop pray lah. But I just hope it's not like another Leon Bailey, for the Diaby transfer also lah. Yeah, I think going into it, also can talk. I think we can talk about the Chelsea transfers, man. Chelsea departures, bro.
A serious list.
Wow.
Oh boy.
These Chelsea departures were crazy, man. I mean,
something else. It's really something else.
Bro, man, what a transfer window, man, for them, like Chelsea. Wow. This Chelsea team, man. I mean, they won the preseason cup. I think with these transfers with Nkunku now injured lah, which I'm hearing is injured his knee. Nicholas Jackson, with the Ugo Chukwu, the one from Rennes. They're playing like they're buying young talent to. I think not recently, actually last season they have been buying young talent to grow the team again. To I think fight like to become world beaters. Like I think they're just trying to get, I don't know, like they've been buying like Angie Santos. Angie Santos looks good lah. Angie Santos and all. I just want to hear from you. How do you feel about maybe the departures and the transfers? How do you feel about it?
Oh, I think surprisingly, coming from an Arsenal fan, as much as we've seen how absolute calamity they were last season, well, I gotta admit, I think their strategy this transfer window has somewhat been a pleasant surprise. I think looking at the kind of players and profiles that Chelsea were looking at, of course, I think most of the Chelsea fans will be quick to pick out Christopher Nkunku as like one of their top signings, right? Like a proven Champions League player, has a very, very good goal and assist tally in the Bundesliga, even won the DFB Pokal also. So that will probably be a transfer to look at. But I think the transfer that I think isn't really getting like the credit that he's deserving also, funny enough, is Nicholas Jackson. I mean, look at the way how electric he was in preseason. The guy was just so unpredictable. Like I think with the current way that he's playing, this guy's gonna put Sterling on the bench. Yeah, Sterling ain't gonna cost the Sterling lah after the end of the season. He's just not gonna hit that level. So, and I feel that so I think Chelsea's really hit the nail on the head, and I think that players like Nicholas Jackson is really like a good investment. Given that Chelsea may not be able to offer that European football that maybe a lot of like the Europe's top players will want to like sign to, but at least Chelsea are actually building like a pretty solid squad. They're building in like young players, maybe a mixture of bit of experience as well. I mean, now that maybe you have a bit more of a leadership in your team, especially I think it's good that Chelsea also kept Thiago Silva. I think that kind of experience is going to be needed, especially in a young team going into next season. And I think well, even though Chelsea may not show that they have Champions League potential, but at the rate they're going, I think in the next 2 or 3 seasons, I think the rest of the top 6 clubs should be worried about Chelsea.
Okay, I mean, I was pissed when Pochettino came in, freaking pissed.
Absolute
I
betrayal.
was dead pissed. I mean, to tell me, oh, Chelsea is the biggest club in the world, and you go. I mean, Chelsea is your biggest rival. You still go to your biggest rival. Yeah, it was like what? Like, okay, I understand it's a job, but like, I think as fans, like, I will ask you this: if a Liverpool manager goes to United, then what was it? What would be the reaction? Then why is he saying about us like that? Like, I really don't understand. Like, I was being like,
Oh boy.
I remember I was being like, talk, like, hey, it's a job only, what? It's a job only, what? Then, I mean, when not Ian Rush, what's his name, Michael Owen went to United, then your not Michael Owen, who's that? United to Liverpool. I forget already. I remember this player. I remember about this player. I forget already, but I know Michael Owen, the one where he went to United.
Michael Owen,
Liverpool
yes.
fans were so angry, man. So I can't be angry, is it? I also cannot be. It's my own emotions, right? But
yeah, man.
It's just ridiculous, Like, I mean, Pochettino. I know he's a solid manager, and I mean he's world class. I mean he's good developing young talent. Like Dele Alli, I mean, look what happened to him now. I mean, he has
the moment,
interview.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the interview, and then things. You look like it's quite bad, lah. I mean, quite sad for Delhi, But he has developed Delhi, Harry Kane, at the point of time, make them really good, solid players. Make the whole team look really good at the point of time. But I think they will really do well in the next. I mean, in the next 2 to 3 seasons. I mean, you all know lah, because Chelsea's board is like that's what people say Morica on the Super Bowl final Super Bowl. they I mean they are a bunch of like spend money, their efforts. I don't know what will happen, like all Abramovich just set managers like that, just damn fast. I don't know about Pochettino. I don't know whether they will give Pochettino time, because Pochettino is the type of manager, he needs time. The one season that we gave him time, we were second. We were third and second. We were contesting for the Premier League twice. And we bottled. I'm a Spurs fan, we bottled things, okay? Like, take it as that. But the signings look good. Nkunku, Nicholas Jackson and all. But I don't know whether Pochettino will stay for a very long time because of this Chelsea board that we have. I believe in Pochettino. I mean, as a Spurs fan, I cannot be. I've experienced it. I should believe in Pochettino, but will he survive in Chelsea is one different question I would want to. I think all these girls can say their questions also because to me I think the board doesn't give Pochettino time. I think he'll be set in the next 7 months or 8 months. He'll be set. He'll be going out the door. And I think like we watch preseason is not bad. They won the PL Summer Cup and then there were memes like, oh, he has won a trophy faster than Spurs. Hey, he won the Audi Cup with Spurs also, bro. So where is this coming from, lah? Where is this coming from? It's also a preseason cup, what is this like? I don't understand. It's just bullshit. It's just totally bullshit. At this point.
Naughty fans have forgotten the Audi Cup.
Come on, man! Like, what's the agenda now? Oh, Spurs just didn't win a trophy. Okay, then what? Oh, okay lah. We haven't won a trophy since 2008, a real trophy lah. But you cannot go to the extent of like they won a trophy faster. They're like a bit weird lah. Like they won the Champions League. I think 2 seasons. Okay, like that's acceptable. Then you talk about PL Summer Cup and they have one trophy, our trophy more like faster than Spurs. it's just I don't understand. I just don't understand. It's just Chelsea fans, just ridiculous lah.
Mm.
Oh yeah. We
Oh,
never talk about this,
Burnley, yes.
Burnley,
Burnley and Luton, yeah.
Burnley and company do well because this is a different Burnley, and also Luton will be interesting. Luton Stadium will be a test for non-English players. Do you see the Luton Stadium?
Oh boy. I mean, you can just go into like a random neighborhood guy's house and you're probably at gate 5 entering the stadium. Who knows?
Yeah, bro. Wow, Luton
Wow.
Stadium is wow. I
Cold
really
Wednesday
don't know
night in
how I
Stone
watch
Five.
it. If I was in the spot, it was in the Luton Stadium. Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Whew.
I really wonder how I just want to ask you lah. Do you think they'll be able to these non-English players like what Zami say will they be able to adapt to the Luton Stadium the field, because the Luton Stadium field isn't that the best. It's quite bad. Yeah, I just want to
Yeah.
hear from your point of view.
Yeah, I think Luton's gonna be a very it's gonna be a wild card coming into the Premier League. Like I think given that now is their first time entering, there's gonna be a lot of unpredictability no matter what kind of team that goes to their stadium, it's gonna be very unpredictable. I mean, this is gonna remind me a little bit like those like FA Cup fixtures that maybe our top 6 clubs will have. Let's say I think remember Arsenal versus Oxford United. It reminds me a little bit of that. Like when you go to like a very very like unpopulated stadium with like maybe a stadium of let's say under 20,000 fans. You go to that kind of stadium, like it feels a little bit muddy, maybe feels a little bit like a cold Wednesday night in Stoke. Well, those kind of things can be quite an interesting environment, I think, to players who are very accustomed to like very polished stadiums, very refined. Like like the Leicester City grass cutter guy, like maybe like the Premier League is so used to those kind of stadiums, but when we come to Luton, that's when things are going to get interesting because for all you know, Luton's players might actually be more suited to the environment, whereas let's say our Declan Rices, our Rodris, I do not know how they would adapt to the environment per se. So I think environment of that stadium is probably going to be something like us as fans that we're going to face Luton probably might want to consider. I think Luton's going to be they're going to be that team that can pull off some amazing wins, but I also feel they also have the kind that can concede a lot of goals also. But whoever gets Luton, they are in for a wild ride lah.
I'll be waiting to see
Man.
many games of Luton, man. I'm really
Hey.
looking forward.
Yeah, man. Hey, Tottenham, Man City, and Luton triangle.
Wow, I will love
Luton,
it. I will.
Luton beats
the
Tottenham.
Tottenham City
Tottenham
Luton.
beats
Oh
Man
my
City.
god. Oh, this is joking.
Man City beat Luton.
Zami, do you hear that, Zami?
Yeah.
It's
Hear the whole
Zami.
triangle.
But how do you feel about, I think, with Burnley? Like, I mean, how they, wow, bro, you remember Burnley, the one where they say that company already having their preseason, when we already going, they are going for the holidays. Wow.
Yeah.
I really
Company
don't
ain't
know,
messing around, man. Company ain't messing around.
when I saw this, but honestly,
Yeah, man.
what do you feel about Burnley also? I think this season. Now,
Wow,
what is your
I think
expectation?
okay, yeah. I think the Burnley that we have seen in the past in the Premier League, especially the one manager that kind of like comes to mind when we ever think of Burnley is Sean Dyche, right? He's the so-called save the club from relegation master. So we used to always think as Burnley as the team that tends to like fill up the spaces in the Premier League just to make sure that we have, let's say, 18, 19 teams or maybe 20 teams in the Premier League. But I think Vincent Kompany is a little bit different. I think looking at his time at Anderlecht in Belgium, I think this guy has brought a kind of like a work ethic and a culture that I think it mimics very similar cultures to like your Ten Hag's, Arteta's, and even your Guardiola's. I think given that this guy was a former captain under Guardiola, I think also kind of like is a it's really like a absolute nice to have. I think from Burnley's point of view, it's probably going to be a really, really important thing going into the Premier League. I mean, you have a manager who is very young, who has a lot of fresh new ideas. Burnley also look revitalized. They look compact. They look sharp. In the Championship, they were way clear in terms of getting promoted, and they've proven themselves day in day out. And with a league that has so many more fixtures as compared to the Premier League, the fact that they've already accustomed to such an environment, and quite convincingly even, I think that's something that Burnley will also look to continue. I think the other thing also, I think now there's also been a lot of rumors about like some of company's former players, like I think Albert Sambi Lakonga from Arsenal also looking at a possible loan deal to Burnley under Vincent
Oh,
Company. So let's just see how that turns out, because who knows, maybe Company can unleash something in Lakonga that Arteta couldn't. So
bro,
because
Nathan Redmond's also in
yeah,
Burnley, bro. Nathan
exactly. Yo, what a transfer video, man. Nathan Redmond.
Redmond. Oh
Brooklyn
my god.
Nine-Nine stuff, man. That stuff was absolute gold. Burnley just never fails to deliver with their transfer videos, man.
Yeah, man. I also
Yeah,
want the Burnley admin now. I need the video admin. I
yeah,
feel my transfer the video is very boring already after a while. It's
yeah.
just too boring
Like,
already.
damn, I want him at Arsenal, man. Like, bring him in.
It just makes my day, man.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, man. You are really looking forward to the Luton home games. Imagine they manage
Same
to
here.
hold the team to a draw or even get wins and make the ground a fortress. Wow, bro. It will be a Ted
Yeah,
Lasso, bro.
man.
You watch Ted Lasso?
AFC Richmond, man. Hey.
AFC Richmond, man.
Yo,
Relegation. Go back up to the Premier League. Won the Premier League. Yeah.
yo, yeah. Some football
Ted
manager
Lasso, man.
stuff going on. Yeah.
They will do a Ted
It,
Lasso. I believe Ted Lasso, bro.
yo, yeah, man. See the
I need
scenes
to
when they
beat.
beat Liverpool 1-0, man. Just imagine the scenes.
Wow, bro. Imagine the season. I would love it, man.
Just imagine.
Bro, I think Nate Shelley will be the assistant manager with Ted Lasso in the helm
Solid,
lah.
man.
Bro, solid stuff, man. I think the JB Tart, I think gonna be. I think the
Oh,
JB Tart.
Jimmy,
Wow, I can't wait,
world
man.
class twat, but man, the guy delivers. Jamie Tan,
Oh
man. Jamie
my
Tan.
days.
Yeah,
How now they mention it, Luton is AFC Richmond in real life.
yeah. The memes are
Agree.
gonna be flowing, man. This season, the memes are gonna be. Woo, everything
I
is gonna
shall
flow.
do. I shall go to Singapore Pools. I go bet Richmond win.
Yeah,
I bet
just
Luton
just
win in
bet,
Premier League.
just yeah. Bet Luton beats like one of the top 6 teams.
Yeah, man.
The
Wow,
absolute
I
steams,
can
man.
imagine, bro.
The
Bro,
absolute steams.
I'll be screaming, Nakamba, let's go, Nakamba.
Yeah, man.
Villa player, bro, Nakamba. I believe in my man, Nakamba. Yeah,
Yeah.
man.
Next thing you know,
Anyway,
Arsenal sells Charlie Patino over to Luton. You never know.
oh really?
Yeah, you never know.
Huh? Patino to
Yeah,
Luton. Oh my
exactly.
days.
The guy just wants the first 10 minutes, man. So Luton, it might be that team that can offer him that.
Wow.
Some
Shit,
interesting
I'm
stuff gonna
waiting to
happen.
see some things, man. I'm
Luton
waiting.
is Luton might actually be cooking something. You just don't know.
I think AFC Richmond must be watching this, man. I want Nate Shelley and Ted Lasso to be watching this because I
Yeah,
hope we
man.
take over Luton, man. I just want to see in real life, how are you all
Yeah,
I
Luton, man,
mean,
Luton.
you can make a striker look like JB Tart. You can make Danny Rojas, and then maybe a midfield of the. Wow, I can't wait, man.
Yeah, marquee players, man.
Marquee players, crazy, man. And then
Exactly.
maybe Obi Sanya at the right wing. Sam Obi Sanya. I can't wait, man. Can't wait for this, man. Anyways, we also can
Oh.
talk about the City transfers. Wow.
Ooh, quite a comprehensive list.
Wow. I don't need to talk so much about City transfers lah, because end of the day,
Mm.
we all know what's gonna happen lah. Want to say?
Of course, these guys are still gonna win the Premier League. There you go.
Honestly,
An Arsenal fan saying that Man City are going to win the Premier League. There
will
we
you
go.
believe me that I say that Man City will not win the league this season, and I believe that Arsenal will win it this season?
I highly doubt that.
No, man. I don't
Yeah.
know, man. But I mean, I feel that this is gonna be a two-race. I think a three-horse race. Maybe Liverpool.
Mm.
I don't know about Liverpool. I saw the preseason. The defense is shaky.
They
Maybe not
need
Liverpool.
fixers. Liverpool need
Yeah,
fixers.
I think maybe City and Arsenal will be fighting together again. I think it's gonna be a
Mm.
wild. It's gonna be a wild goose chase. I think. Let's be real. I believe that City will. I mean, City will win the league. I am a Spurs fan, but
Yeah,
that I want
I
City
agree.
to win the league. But I don't know, man. I have this hunch that Arsenal will win the league somehow, but I don't know when. Is it this season, next season? I don't know because
Yeah.
man, like this Declan Rice transfer, you have this. I don't know, man. I love Kai. I honestly did tell like my Nepshot friends that like this Kai Havertz this I mean 75 million all can say what but I feel Arteta knows how to change the players. So
Yeah.
to me,
There's just something about that.
yeah, there's something about Arteta, and I know how he make Ben White, right back. Me his system. I watch his gameplay. It's very interesting. You see, this is
Mm-hmm.
with Pep. All the players that played under Pep and all the assistant managers that come after under Pep has really flourished.
Mm.
Xavi, let him be balling out in Barcelona, man. He was having a thriller against Arsenal, man. He was having a good thriller, man.
Yeah.
And then with Pep, like like with Xabi Alonso is doing well in Leverkusen.
Mm-hmm.
I remember he's doing quite well.
Yep.
And I think, giving credit, I think Arteta has really changed Arsenal a lot. I am scared,
Mm-hmm.
man. I'm scared to shit, man. Like this is bringing me back to those days where I'm a little boy getting scared of Arsenal. Oh, bro, what a day, man. Arsenal we talk celebrating St. Totteringham's Day. Every time is this bullshit. And then after that, then we started to come up, better than Arsenal. Arsenal were having their dry season and no, you see. And then okay, like diverging back to City,
Mm.
I think City transfers are not bad. I mean,
Mm.
they are trying to get Michael Ollis. They got Kovacic. Kovacic, I tell you, this guy will change, man. I think this guy is gonna be a hit.
Mm.
I feel this guy gonna be a hit, but I just
Yeah.
don't know when it will
Yeah.
be. Because I see Kovacic, right? He fits this system, but he's not a good
Mm.
He's definitely not a good like the
Yeah.
more clutch player. No, but he will make it clutch. He will make it
Yeah.
clutch. He will make this player
Mm-hmm.
clutch because look, I've watched him in Chelsea. I'm impressed. I am impressed. I honestly think this style of player should never be. He should. I feel like Chelsea has lost a great player.
Yeah. I think Chelsea made a mistake selling him off.
This guy is good, right? Is
Mm.
like when he's clutch, he's clutch. He's actually not bad as a player. I really rate him. It's just that
Yep.
maybe he wasn't in the right team. Maybe he fits Chelsea City a lot, Because City had look at all the players they have changed, man. Wow, they have made Bernardo Silva, right wing to a centre mid. Don't know where he's playing, left back. Don't know what other thing. John Stones, what centre back, right back, CDM, everything wet.
Yeah.
So John Stones
Great.
has cemented the CDM. Jack Grealish has become from a 100 million flop, like what the whole media say he became
an
so
absolute
good.
baller. The guy became a baller. Yeah.
So it's just that Pep is just too tactically smart. That he knows how to use the players. So I just feel Kovacic is gonna be a hit. I mean, like, no need to say so much, Kovacic will be a hit anyways. I mean, they are also linked to Gavidal. I think this Gavidal. I mean, Fabrizio Romano screwed it up totally. I don't know
that was
how they screwed it up. And then when the Leipzig director realized that he leaked it out, obviously he took an L. I don't want to say he's a fraud. I don't give a shit, to be fair, but Fabrizio's not a fraud. But
yeah.
he makes himself look like it at times, and it's like,
At that
what?
particular point, yeah.
Like, what? But I think Gravidor will solidify the defense a lot with
Yeah.
Diaz, with Akanji, with Ake. Ake is really, he changed a lot, man. I mean,
Mm.
Ake also cemented his place. So, to be real,
Mm-hmm.
every player that goes under Pep, Nolito is one case of it. Like, it didn't work out, João
Mm.
Cancelo just wanted game time, whatever, blah, blah, blah. All
Mm.
the players under him has actually flourished, except Calvin Phillips. Calvin Phillips is, I don't know whether he will like be playing next season, like first teamer, but I hope so because he's
Yeah.
probably there just to win the treble, lah.
Mm-hmm.
He has won the treble with less minutes than expected, but I think I feel like City might win. I maybe feel they will win Champions League. I don't know about Premier League. I think they will win the Champions
Mm.
League. Another Champions League. I'm hoping, man. I just want United fans to I just wanted to match United, please. Just for once. For
Just
once.
United.
Yeah. I just want to see I want to see I want to see a certain someone saying that, where's the UCL? Hey, where's your UCL, bro? Now we really want UCL. Where are you, bro? What Qataris and Persia, bro? Hey, where's okay lah, but
Yeah.
whatever, man. But okay, last save it for the best lah. This James
Wow.
Madison, Vicario, Solomon,
The best of the lot.
I think I just want to hear from your point of view, like how do you think Spurs will fare this season?
Wow. Spurs is gonna be, to me, like a very hit or miss team. Though, however, I do feel that we shouldn't rule out Spurs from getting the European football.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. I would think that. Will they get Champions League? My answer to that is most likely no. But do I think that they can possibly challenge in the Europa League? My answer is yes. Yeah.
Do you think?
So I think looking at Spurs, I think they're slowly learning to reinvent themselves a bit more. I mean, putting aside all the Daniel Levy stuff that you mentioned earlier, but I think looking at the way that Postecoglou is also trying to reinvent the overall structure of the team, we actually already have. I mean, Tottenham already has like some sort of quality around in his squad. I mean, look at Perisic. This guy still has some qualities to play the way that he want to play. Like he can play from the back or he can even play a high line press. He's that versatile player and a useful squad player that Postecoglou could use in his lineup. And now, of course, yes, you have Richarlison, but I mean now we have the new additions of Spurs has the new additions of Manners Solomon. I think is someone that we shouldn't overlook also. I think the guy is like he's showing like bits and bits of quality each time. He's slowly developing as a player from the time he was from Shakhtar and then his season at Fulham also. I think he's slowly like showing like elements of like his flair, and that will also add a lot to the depth. Especially now with Kulusevski being a permanent signing. So yeah, I think there's a lot of rotation that Spurs could do up front, which could also make them a little bit more unpredictable than they were in previous seasons. Now that I think Harry Kane is more and more likely to be off the cards from Postecoglou's lineup, because I think Kane will also probably like disrupt the whole dynamic. So now that Kane is less and less likely to be part of that picture, so Spurs are going to build a different identity around like the players that they have signed and the players that they're looking to sign. So let's see. I'm probably looking at Spurs probably like fifth or sixth position.
Oh yeah. Agreed. Because I think for me also I'll say this as Spurs fan how I'm feeling about it. I think this season I'm not going to judge a player a manager so fast because this is his first season and we are going to concede many goals because the defense is just terrible lah. maybe Tanganga and Romero in the preseason. I'm like, what is going on,
Lovely.
man? Like, what is going on? I don't understand. Then Eric Dyer, still Davinson Sanchez and all. We still have a long way to go.
Mm.
With Tongi and Nobly, we try to sell him, and a lot of players we are trying to sell. So I'm
Yep.
just not. I'm looking forward to the season. I want to see
Mhm.
great attacking football. I'm not expecting any trophies this season neither. I just feel I have to taper my own expectation because two managers, world class managers, were sacked and wasn't being backed properly also.
Yep.
I mean, while manager deserved to be sacked, I mean, Conte deserved to be sacked. To be fair, I will be honest, he deserved to be sacked because he did it in the press conference, and everyone, and just ballistic just said it out,
Yeah.
and everyone is like no fact really. So
Yeah.
to me, like two world class managers go ahead, and obviously you just broke me totally because I obviously know that they are world class managers and it will guarantee trophies, but it just didn't happen. So
Mhm.
I just hoping for a fifth or sixth. Definitely, I'm not aiming for Champions League this season. I mean, we do have European football. Yes, we can focus on cups, and I feel like we should focus on cups than the Premier League season. At the point of time, maybe with Conte and that, but they will always say that they want to focus on Premier League because Premier League is always a challenge, bro. You don't know whether, I mean, City is always going to win the league, but they always want a challenge. So why not just But Unai is smart. Unai will just focus on cups. He's a cup winner. So
yeah, Unai is a specialist at it.
So to be frank, I'm not hopeful for. I'm hopeful for the season, but just not expecting much.
Yep.
Because just need to taper my own expectations of the rebuild also. Because the chairman, I just want the board to leave. Yes, I always want the board to leave lah. To be frank, but yeah lah. Oh yeah, I just forgot, man. Forgot about the mighty tunes. We have forgotten to talk about it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh.
Sandro Tonali and Harvey Barnes, and then same as leaving. You know, this Harvey Barnes, I will talk about it. Mr. Tiba Ramani, I don't know whether he's watching it, watching the show now. But I always before him like, hey, Barnes to Villa, bro. Here we go, all these, always say this to him. Because I always love to show him, he's a cool lad, bro. Like, he's a good lad, man. Like, I just feel like Harvey Barnes will have fit Villa quite a bit because that left wing looks like where is it going to, bro? I mean, I got Diaby Okela like that's it but I think to me Harvey Barnes is will be a good player for Villa because Conference League football like I will take Conference League I won't take Conference League football but I will take someone that is going to change me as a player. It will change me as a player and make the player really like work hard for the team. So I think Harvey Barnes I think for Villa, for Newcastle, I think for Villa, I actually thought it was a good transfer for them, but didn't materialize. They got to Newcastle, the mighty Toons. But I just want to hear from your point of view. I don't know. For me, Tonali, I say this to. I'm sorry, Sunil but yes, like one preseason game he has played well, but then I don't know, man. Tonali just I never seen a player from the north side of Italy done well in the Premier League. AC Milan, I don't know, man. Shevchenko didn't do well in Chelsea. You have likes of the Roma. Okay, Roma not really north of London, north of Italy, no, right? No,
Yeah,
right?
I don't think so. Yeah.
Milan. And I think like to me, I don't really fancy like AC Milan type of Milan type of players coming to North Italian type of players coming to the Premier League because I have seen the likes of like Golini. I don't know. I just don't read at the point. I just say CVR and Premier League are a very big difference. And it comes with Holland. and we won't know what's going on with him. Also, we won't know what's going to
Mm-hmm.
happen. Serie A is a total different league with Premier League, man. It's a different ball game. But just want to hear from you. How will you like rate Tonali and Harvey Barnes in this season, lah?
Yeah, I think looking at it from an outsider's point of view, I think I can understand why Newcastle fans will be really excited looking at Sandro Tonali going into the new season. I mean, nowadays, like the media also tends to sensationalize the fact that this that Tonali's transfer seems a little bit like when Man City were first starting out, like they were like signing like your
Robinho.
Fernandinho, yeah, your David Silvas, like those kind of players. So they feel that Sandro Tonali might be that so-called player to kickstart like their revolution, right, at Newcastle. Like this whole like the beginning of the takeover process. Like even though like the ownership has happened, but like now it's as if Newcastle's going into full throttle, trying to get like the biggest stars across Europe, a Champions League semi-finalist. And it from a Newcastle's point of view, I can kind of get why that is pretty exciting. But on the other hand, also we also need to bear in mind like where this player in intention what this player's intention was initially. We also need to see that Sandro Tonali was a player that was seen with a vision to be like the so-called next Pirlo and the next captain of AC Milan. He was gonna look to be that player, given that this guy was like now he's probably like 22, going to turn 23, and now like moving into the future, this guy is probably gonna like was supposed to take Milan to like that next level with like those other players, Rafael Leao and stuff. But I think the moment I saw the news that he was joining Newcastle, I think that one was a really huge surprise to me, and I'm not too sure what that will do to the overall team's dynamic because and then again also the kind of players that are currently at Newcastle are not like your absolute superstars. Or even if you do have a few superstars, like maybe say a Kieran Trippier who's played Champions League football and has played for like the big clubs in Europe. But someone like Sandro Tonali is a little bit of a player that's a bit like very different also, a bit too soon from a Newcastle standpoint. Because I kind of agree with you also that maybe they should go for maybe they should go for like those like mid-table club players who are playing really well first to build
Yeah.
rather than just go straight for like a marquee Champions League player. Because I feel that once
Hype.
just imagine the kind of wages that Sandro Tonali is already going to be like getting compared to his teammates. What that would do to a dressing room.
True. And I think
Yeah.
like with Tonali also, they also missed out on signings with Harvey Barnes. No, not Harvey Barnes, James Madison.
Exactly.
In fact, I was quite surprised they didn't go for James Madison because he was really linked to Newcastle. He was very close. I would say he's damn close, but he chose to
I
stay
thought it
in
would have
London.
been a good fit for Newcastle.
It could be a very good statement, man. And I think like now they don't really have money to buy any player. I was not sure because they already. I mean, with Saudi Arabia, the league with Benzema, Firmino, all these players, they have been, using this. They have been using the money for this. I don't know, man. I just don't know what's going on with Newcastle. I'm just not sure. But I don't know, man. Like this season is going to be a bit of a question mark as to whether Eddie Howe is going to survive. I don't think he's going to survive. I think he's going to get a sack soon, like maybe in the next few months. But let's see how it goes, lah. The ball is round. Cannot expect much. Just see how it goes, lah. Because Newcastle is also going to fight a Champions League. It's quite going to be a very tough ride for them also. If they need to get more players lah down the line. And then you see, Koulibaly last time who's signing Aquilani, bit red flag to be honest from Syria. Oh my god, see Koulibaly you also know what.
Oh, Koulibaly.
It went really bad, man.
Yeah.
Koulibaly. I
think, that was terrible.
Terrible signing. He just went to Al-Ahly, is it? Al-Ahly, is it? They went some
I
Saudi
think
Arabia club.
so.
Yeah.
Or something.
Yeah, I mean, his first season, I thought Koulibaly's gonna rock this league, man. Wow, when I watched him play, oh my days, it's just bad.
Abysmal.
What is
Absolutely
going on?
abysmal.
Like, I thought he's gonna be someone of work. I mean, United wanted to get him. A lot of clubs want to get him, bro. But
Yeah.
now it's just red flag.
Yeah, man.
Just a red flag, man. Total red flag, man. So it's gonna be very like,
Yeah.
I think to me, I just don't know, man. Like, I think ball is round, see how Tonali plays out. But I know that he
Mm.
didn't really want to leave Milan because honestly he didn't want to leave Milan. We all know the reaction
Mhm.
shows. He was quite angry about it, but hopefully he just survives in the Premier League, does well in the Premier League. See how it goes also lah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, lastly we can just talk about the Premier League table lah. Okay, I just wanna
Mm.
just name me 3 clubs that's gonna get relegated. And your champion
Ooh.
and your top 4. And your Europa League and your
Wow.
conference.
Okay.
These signings are from the signings.
I see. Um. Okay, so starting with like the 3 relegated teams, um, I feel that especially I think the one team I think first of all that's really been really just been really lucky is Everton.
Is that you
Everton,
is
yeah, Everton's really that one team that has just narrowly escaped relegation each time. But I feel that the other teams that have been their so-called rivals at the bottom half of the table have somewhat been upgrading their starting lineups as well. I mean, now Luton's going to enter the picture and they're also looking to upgrade. You have your Crystal Palace also. I think they may be probably looking to reinvest after
yeah,
maybe they sell off like Olise possibly
yeah.
to like a City. And yeah, so other teams are going to be upgrading. But however, on the other hand, I see Everton, they haven't really looked to have made much progress also. I think maybe I only seen like one of their highlights in their preseason, but honestly, like the way they've been playing, they still look like they're the same that they were last season. The same Everton that barely scraped like 1 or 2 points off the relegation zone. So who knows? Maybe I think these guys are probably the team that I would think will be relegated. Second one, I think will probably be Bournemouth. So
Wow,
Bournemouth, yeah.
I forgot about
So
them.
these guys, Bournemouth, I think is a very unusually run club, partly owned by Michael B. Jordan. But anyway,
Michael B. Jordan, oh my days.
yeah, it's a little bit. I mean, not all American owners are gonna produce fantastic results, lah. Well, so I think for Bournemouth's case, these guys haven't really fully cemented a proper like style of play or culture. They've just been like sacking managers as the seasons go by. I think Nathan, like I think like who's I think the guy like I think O'Driscoll I think was the
Yeah.
manager that got sacked. Then after that they were
Gary
just
O'Neill, right?
Gary O'Neill, yes, Gary O'Neill. Yeah. So they've just been sacking managers like how Leeds United have been doing it. And it just seems to me that these guys are probably just like are just gonna be like loafing around the league, and they're probably a team that teams will probably like look to like claim points off lah. No offense, but yeah, even though like they had some stellar performances against Arsenal, especially that 3-2 Arsenal 3-2 win, but hey, I mean those are like one-offs, and I do not know whether these performances will carry on to next season. So
Ooh.
yeah, so I say Everton, Bournemouth. I think the last one it will be a tough one, but I think funny enough, I actually think Nottingham Forest.
Wow.
I actually think
Nottingham
Nottingham Forest.
Forest.
As much as they had a lot of backing with like Philippe, and then now we heard that Jesse Lingard's already become a free agent. And so I think a lot of like their main quality has dropped also. Maybe some of their star players, maybe like Morgan Gibbs White, maybe might still be a key player for Nottingham Forest, but there's no telling like what exactly will their defense bring in terms of like the results. Yeah. So I think Nottingham Forest might be a team that maybe scores a couple of goals from the teams. Maybe they may score 1 or 2 goals per match. But I think in terms of like the defensive numbers, they may not be able to make up for the number of goals that they score.
Okay.
Yeah. So I think so Everton, Bournemouth, and Nottingham Forest relegation.
Top of the table is City, right, for you?
Yeah, I would say City without a doubt. Like I think these guys still have the quality, they still have the depth, they have the chemistry. Whereas Arsenal, even though they are looking to be title contenders, I still feel that these guys are still going through the adjustment needed to move into the next phase of their process. But
Then your
who
second
knows
one?
lah?
Your second,
Yeah.
third, and fourth.
So second, third, and fourth. I think this is a tough one, but I still think Arsenal will be second again. Though I think they'll be looking to hit they'll still be hitting the 80 points tally, whereas City will be hitting maybe the 90s.
Hmm.
Yeah. Then I think funny enough, I actually think Liverpool will be third, as much as they had a bit of their defensive flaws. But I feel that once Liverpool plugs in the gaps in their midfield, or they start making the right adjustments, or provided they actually make the right adjustments, like maybe moving Trent into central defensive midfield,
He fits
then I
the role
think we
last
might,
year.
when he fits their role, then maybe if Liverpool go through like a whole, instead of playing like four at the back with Trent as right back, maybe you play three centre backs. Maybe you bring
Yeah,
like
to play like Pep lah.
yeah,
Attack.
maybe like play a 3-4-3. I think that would really change, really like revitalize Liverpool. Because right now, I think we see McAllister and Szoboszlai. These players are players that quality, but they'll probably also need to adjust. And these players may not always be the kind to track back, especially in a counter.
Agreed.
So yeah, so I feel Liverpool I think have a potential to be third, but I think that may also be prone to change. Then I think when it comes to fourth, I would say United still. United are still in it in the Champions League. They have quality players, and Ten Hag is clearly building a process. The problem is now he needs the backing, and I don't know whether if the Glazers can offer him that.
I think to me, my relegated teams are I don't know, man. I think Everton has been too lucky. I'm sorry,
Yeah,
Jirayo. I'm sorry, Jirayo, but I mean, I say this too lucky.
yeah,
Your club's freaking lucky. I don't know how lucky can y'all get. I just think Everton will face the drop.
yeah,
Uh,
agreed.
Another team that's going to face the drop definitely Brentford. Not Brentford, Bournemouth. Sorry, Bournemouth.
Yeah, I think Bournemouth.
Bournemouth. I don't know, man. Justin Kluivert transfer. I read this guy last time. I don't know. In Ajax, he was so good. I don't know what happened. The ceiling dropped on him. I don't know what happened. Patrick Kluivert, maybe don't know. Like the hype of Patrick Kluivert gave Justin Kluivert some.
I think he'll be a flop. Yeah.
Wow, man. I really don't know. I really don't know how. But he hasn't been really doing well, lah.
Yeah.
So if he keeps up in Bournemouth, I won't be surprised either, man. Like I really don't know what's going to happen, man. I think Bournemouth will also face a drop. Another team that is going to face a drop. Well, I think Luton, man.
Luton.
I think
Okay.
I just want an AFC Richmond story, man.
Okay.
Yeah, I just need an AFC Richmond story just to feel the vibes, I need to feel the vibes. They drop from the league, then they go back up. Oh, I never in the Premier League. Oh, then I I mean, Luton Town. Why? It's also because I don't know how they'll survive the Premier League. Actually, I really don't know. It's going to be a very difficult task. I mean, I say this about Sheffield United. What happened? They stayed in the Premier League lah. So I hope they prove me wrong with Luton.
Yeah,
I really
same here.
hope. But I think Luton quite a big task. I hope they get to win games in like top 6 clubs. I really want to see it. I just need to have some AFC Richmond vibes. So yeah, man. I just hope it happens, man. Really, I really hope. Bro. Serious. Anyways, now it's tough. Wow. show has come to an end, guys. Today, I think just thank you all for the 2 hours of show. Sorry if we rambled quite a lot, but today we really had fun. Thanks for also coming into the show, Christian. I just thank you for also helping me out also today.
Sure, no worries, man.
Wow, man, it's been a really tiring day for me today, man. Went to the gym, went to the gym, and then work life crisis and all. But thank you for watching, everyone, and hope you all have a good weekend ahead, lah. Okay, bye.
Yeah. Cheers, guys.
Bye. Cheers, guys.
Bye bye.